So what's up, y'all? I am whispering right now because I have a surprise for my girlfriend. By the time I post this episode, she will have received the gift. So I'm on the way right now to go run one of my errands so that I could finish one of her gifts for her birthday. Because we're going on Pisces season. We love the Pisces over here. Fast forward 2 weeks. I did not finish her birthday with one of her birthday gifts in time. But that's okay. She knows it's on the way. But I wanted to show y'all what I made for her. This is something that I made with very low cost resources. Shout outs to the library, and also I had to wait for my vinyl to come in because I couldn't print it from my printer in house. So I want to show you guys on this episode of Make Things how I learned screen printing and heat pressing for low or no cost. So let's go. So this is Make Things episode 7, where I'm going to show you guys how I made a custom gift using free library resources. Make Things is a podcast, or I would call it a visual diary, for myself as a multi-hyphenate creative that is just trying to get back to the essence of who I am as a creative person, whether it be DJing, whether it be producing music now, designing, creating experiences. I'm just trying to get back to myself outside of the corporate world. So I'm walking you guys through my process. So how I came up with the concept to create these custom shirts for my girlfriend. She loves the movie Love Jones. Like, she told me that very early on. She's really an admirer of art and beauty, creativity, loves museums, she loves poetry, and she also loves Chicago. That was actually our third date. I think our third or fourth date was to Chicago. What a beautiful city. So for those of you who don't know about the film, it's about two artists in Chicago, Darius and Nina, played by Lorenz Tate and Nia Long. They're navigating love and their creative practices. Darius Lorenz Tate is a poet, and Nia Long, I believe she's a photographer. I haven't seen the film in a while. I actually need to watch it again. But it's about their incredibly beautiful, honest conversations about what it means to be in love while staying true to yourself as an artist. And honestly, that resonates with me too, as someone who's trying to balance creative practice also with balancing a long distance relationship, balancing my work life, and my life in general, being in a new city where I have no family. I think that the film hits on all of these different aspects that are going on in our lives. So I just wanted to pull a line from the film and turn that into wearable art. So that's what I did, and I look forward to her receiving this gift. But also, here's the thing, I've never screen printed in my life. I've never done this before, so this was my moment to learn. Let me adjust this real quick. Okay, so designing in Canva. Okay, so the first thing that I did to create these was using Canva. Canva is free, it's very accessible, and honestly it's perfect for this type of project. So I'm gonna show you my Canva design. I pulled up different lyrics just off the internet, and ironically my girlfriend's last name is Jones, and there was a quote in the film that said, when that Jones come down, it be a motherfucker, and that is real. When that Jones come, woo, buddy. So, I played with different typography. I wanted something that was clean, so I used different fonts. The sizes are different. One thing that I probably would have adjusted was making just the overall font larger so that it goes from the top of the T all the way down to the bottom. So that's one adjustment that I definitely would make next time. And I could have tested that out had I used 3D, but it's been a busy couple of weeks, so I wasn't able to really incorporate that. I was trying to get it out ASAP. So that's one benefit of using 3D, is you can play with the font or the size before you commit to something. So the reason why I made two versions, one for a tee and one for a sweatshirt, is just an aesthetic thing. I wanted her to have options. It's about to be hot. Summer's coming, so I thought a t-shirt might be cool with some blue jeans or something, and then she can probably wear the sweatshirt in the house or wait till it gets a little bit colder. But anyways, once I had the design set, I had the font that I wanted, the typography, and the graphic. I just deleted the background. So you do need to have a subscription to be able to delete the background in Canva, but I don't think a subscription is that much. But once I had that finalized, I exported them as a high-res file. That part took me maybe an hour. Canva makes it pretty easy, even if you're not a graphic designer, that you can create something that looks pretty professional. So now that I have the designs ready, I have them saved. I think I saved them as a PNG file. How do I get them now onto the fabric? I could have just ordered it online, but I wanted to learn the process and I wanted to make it myself. So I went to the Tulsa Public Library's makerspace. These are like community workshops. They're usually in public libraries. So at Tulsa Public Library downtown, they have screen printing equipment, 3D printers, laser cutters, sewing machines. They have music equipment, instruments where you can make beats, make music. They have all of this in one space, and they have people there that can teach you how to use all of the equipment in there. So what's really important is that it's not just for professionals. It is actually for anyone. It is for the novice. It is for the hobbyist. They offer instructions for children. So you don't have to have all of this expensive equipment at home. You don't need a home studio yet. You just need a library card. So the process is pretty straightforward. I can't remember the software used in the library to print out the vinyl that would lay wording, my lyrics, onto the shirt. So we printed it out in a green vinyl. And then once that was printed out, I had to like pick out the actual words that were going to go into the shirt. So I was basically kind of just having the outer layer coated or covered with the vinyl, and then the words were going to be picked out so that once I pushed the ink through on the screen press, only the ink with the words would go onto the fabric. So that was really cool. They showed, you could see here, like some of the parts within the text are a little messed up. They're not perfect. And then I forgot to pull out this little piece in there. You can see that there. That's okay. It still looks good. And, the premise of it is that you learn by doing. You learn by seeing, okay, I did this. I could have done this better. Could have made the graphic bigger or the text larger, but it's all good. You learn more by doing more. So it's all good. Okay, so after I learned screen printing, I needed to heat press the actual vinyl onto my sweatshirt and the tee. But unfortunately, the printer that I have, I wasn't able to print out the vinyl, and I had to send it to a craft store for it to be printed as a heat transfer vinyl. So basically, HTV, heat transfer vinyl, is a printed design on a special material that you heat press onto fabric. Let's see if I have some. Hold on. So I actually have some heat transfer vinyls here in my house. The problem is my printer needs, I believe, special ink. I could be wrong, but for whatever reason, it was not printing. The graphic was not printing using my printer. So it's more durable than screen printing this kind of detailed work. I think with screen printing, especially if you want to do different colors, you have to do one color screen print and a second color. And this is extremely detailed. So this would be very difficult to screen print unless I made it into like an animation and then reduce the colors to maybe 3. And then I'm not really getting what I want. So heat pressing it was the best option for that. It's interesting because it took me about 5 to 7 tries to get this graphic to stick, for me to confidently pull the vinyl up and for the graphic to stay. And I had my heat press at about 320. It's one of those where it automatically presses down on the fabric, so I just don't think it was pressed down hard enough. I don't know, I feel like this chops it up a little bit more. So maybe if I had the lyrics kind of not overlap, but kind of just incorporate or flow into the image, it wouldn't feel. So that's the designer in me. It's like, this isn't perfect. It's okay. But again, like I said, this was one of the first projects that I've made where I've screen printed and then also just using my home equipment. I've had this heat press for a year and I'm embarrassed that I have not even touched it, but this is what I moved to Tulsa for, was just to be able to have the space to create things and to build my creative practice. So that's pretty exciting. So why am I telling you all of this? Why do you care? Because I think there's something important here about access and resourcefulness. You don't need to own everything to be able to start to make things. I'm not a graphic designer. I use Canva. So the barrier for entry into anything that you want to do, especially as a creative, is lower than you think, especially when you know where to look. So I advise highly, go to your public library, your community maker spaces. They have free software. There are YouTube tutorials. There are people there who want to help you. So the tools are there. You just have to access them. You have to use them. And for me, this project was more than just making a gift. I love you, boo. I think just sitting down in my own space and creating. But now that I've learned this skill, I can take this idea and turn it into something else. So this is just literally what Make Things is all about. So that is what I got my girlfriend for her birthday. One of her late birthday gifts is a graphic tee and a sweatshirt from featuring lyrics from Love Jones, a film that means so much to her. And it was made by me with my own hands, using things that I owned in house and also didn't. And I feel like sometimes it can be better than anything that you could have bought for someone, because it's personal, it requires time and attention. I thought about you and I made this for you. So that is the power of making things. So if you're thinking about something, whether it's a project, an experiment, a gift, whatever that is, my encouragement to you is to use the resources around you. Check your local library for maker spaces. Most cities have them and they're free. Learn the tools, ask questions, be okay with being a beginner, and make something that matters to you first. You're more than likely to finish it. And also, one thing that I'm learning as a creative is that it's not about having like the perfect setup or the most expensive tools. It's just about intention. It's about resourcefulness. It's about the act of doing the work. So go make something with whatever you have, wherever you are. All right, see y'all next week. Peace. Yeah, we make things. Peace out, y'all.